What's up guys, Matt with BleepinJeep. So when the wife and I are driving down the highway, I'm sure there's plenty of people making fun of us for still driving with the factory spare, even though we have 37s all around. So why are we doing that? Well, there's some modifications that need to be made. This tailgate is not capable of handling a tire this big. So today we're going to take care of that. Let's get started. So what do you need to fit a tire that big on a JL? Well, this thing, check this out. This is from Rugged Ridge. It's a giant piece of aluminum and it replaces the hinges and then adds a huge support on the back tailgate of the JL. If you tried to put a tire that big on the factory tailgate, what you're going to do is wear out the hinges and possibly bend the tailgate if you ever hit a giant pothole, or if you're off-roading, obviously that's not going to be good either. Now the second thing that you need is to move the tire carrier itself. Since the tire is taller and wider, you need to move it up and out, and that's what this brace is going to do also from Rugged Ridge. It has adapters for the rear view camera, and then no rear end would be complete without a brand new bumper, and that's where this one from Crawltech comes in. We're going to put that in, and it's got an LED light bar that comes through this hole right here. We'll use that as a backup. Let's get started. First I want to take this spare tire off, so let's start with that. There's a little Torx thing here to remove the cover on the rear view camera. I kind of want to see logically, or for you guys, test this out and see if this would even get close to fitting. Oh, I don't know if I can lift it. Let's see. Would it fit? Is it going to fit? No, it's too tall because it's hitting the bumper already, obviously sitting on the bumper, and it won't line up. The holes are higher than the mount. Oh man, that thing's heavy. Next, open up your tailgate and we're going to remove everything out of the back seat here. I don't know what's been going on in here. If you pry up on these guys here, you'll find a Torx that is going to be T45, I think that is, 40. And then let's take those off. We need to pull off this trim piece to get to those hinges, so I think it's snapped in place. What do you guys think? Makes you feel like you're breaking things. Holy cow, that's what it looks like on the back side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 different snaps you gotta pop out to get that thing out. I was about to get worried. I thought there was no access to the hinges. There's a little piece of tape right here and it's painted red. If I'm careful with it, maybe we can reuse that tape. If not, we'll just tape over it. Oh yeah. Can you see that? 1 and 2. Let's go ahead and remove this. Uh-oh. Now I'm stuck. I can't set it down. Now we're kind of getting into the installation of the tire carrier mount as well. I'm gonna put this back on because I need to get these screws off. Basically, the reason we need to remove these screws is to get the wiring out of there. There's also 2 screws here for the camera. And then if you peel this off and turn it, there are 2 screws here for the light. Okay, let's try that again. Let's see if that works any better. Just thinking about it real hard. I need a hammer. Oh man, I didn't realize that, but that whole thing is plastic. No wonder it needs to get replaced. There's no metal in there at all. Check that out. That's the backup camera stripped down. Just this little tiny camera on a square mounted on the end of this giant hunk of plastic and metal. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is close the door. Keep the door closed while I remove the hinge outside and inside. Don't open the door. Now if you have a JL, here's a little tip for you. Go out and buy you a Torx socket set because you are going to need it. There's Torx all over this thing. But when you buy it, this kit that I have only comes up to a 50. And for the tailgate, you need a T55. So make sure you buy a kit with a T55 or all the way up to a T55. I just happened to find this in my toolbox. So here we go. Let's hope this works. These are painted, so I'm sure I'm going to mess up the paint on these trying to get them out. Whoa, that one didn't want to come. That one was easy. Hopefully I can do this without having to climb in and out of there. This one is a 1/2 inch on the inside. Oh, check that out. 1 down. 2 down. Check that out. That is aluminum right there. They just painted over the hinges, so it's not painted on this side. So these hinges are together, so you need to do them both at the same time, and they're going to go right in that hole. One of the cool things that I like about this hinge, as opposed to the others that I found, the other aftermarket ones, they just kind of went in here, and you could still see this open hole, and there's a huge gap in there. Whereas this one, once we stick it in, it's going to seal that off completely. Now it's not completely flat right there, so if you want to, you could put like a bead of silicone or RTV around there, which I might do. Check it out, I found some red RTV, so we'll see if that's a good idea later on down the road or not. Hopefully it doesn't squish out too much. Alright, now that we've got that installed in there, oh my gosh, it's going to have to get loosened up a little bit. Oh, looks like we need to pull this guy off here. There we go. Now, push that over. These 4 bolts come with it. They're going to go in these holes. Alright, then these 4 bolts right here are the ones that came out of it from factory. I'm going to hold this up right and then tighten it down. Couple of ooga doogas. Three ooga doogas. 6 ooga doogas on that one. Did you find the ooga doogas?
I appeared.
Tell me what Ooga Dooga is.
There's no such thing as an Ooga Dooga.
Tell her that Ooga Doogas are a real thing. And it's a technical term.
Tell my husband that we just make crap up as we go along.
No.
Yes.
It's an Ooga Dooga.
No.
That's 3 Ooga Doogas. You hear it? See, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that one only needed 2. Okay.
You're crazy. I'm not saying that on camera.
These are solid. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these down. So when I tightened those hinges on the inside, it pulled the whole door that way. So what I did was I loosened these bolts back up, and I just want to make sure that these gaps are the same. It still worked as it was. It's more of just a visual thing. So put you something in there like a screwdriver and just get it right. And then before I tighten them back up, I'm going to put some weight or some pressure and slide it up so you can see how that body line matches right there. And then I'll tighten it right there. Does that look right? Yeah, I think that looks good. Now we're going to put this guy right here. And they give you hardware, but I'm going to use the factory hardware. And I'm going to put Loctite on it because this is going to be holding your tire going down the highway. It's the last thing you want is to lose that sucker and kill somebody. So this is going to be what the new wheel and tire attaches to, but we need to put the camera inside of here. So we're going to slide that through. And then the factory hardware, which we took off a little while ago, these 2 screws are going to go in there to hold it together. Wrong screws. No Ooga Doogas here. Ooga Doogas would be bad.
Stop it.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. Put your wheel down and your tire. You're gonna put something flat across the top, and we're gonna measure the back spacing. So we are at 5 3/4, almost 6 inches. Now come over here. Now take your flat piece. We're gonna put it right here. Now the tire can press into this a little bit, but not too much, otherwise it won't tighten down very much. So we're going to go in further, line it up with those holes and see what the last hole is that we can hit. So right there we're at 6.5 inches, so the tire will fit, and that's where we'll put it. So there's still a lot of wiggle room there once you get those bolts installed, so you need to have your lovely assistant hold that straight, or however you want it to be. Let's hold it straight for now.
Do you say that when Jeremy helps you?
Later on, later on you could angle it up or down, or however you want your tire to aim. Okay. Too many Ooga Doogas. This is pretty cool. Rugged Ridge actually provides a metal shield to go over the camera. Uh-oh.
What?
We have a problem.
Oh, crap.
Attempt number 2. 3. These lug nuts that are supplied are special because they have a threaded end on that side, which is going to hold our 3rd brake light. So those 2 are going to go on top. You need to torque that down to spec. In my case, 110 foot-pounds here. At least that's what I usually do. All right, this is our first attempt using a torque wrench. Let's see what you got. Keep going. You got it. No. It's got to click.
I can feel my face getting red. Keep going.
What's the matter over here?
I don't know. See, I was so close.
You want me to loosen it up?
No!
Try it again?
No.
Good job. Next up, we're going to put this bracket here for the third brake light. It's got 2 Allen head bolts that screw into those lug nuts. So for this wire, I decided to bring it up through here, down through here. There's a hole, brought it through there, and that way this light will cover up and you won't be able to see it coming through anyway. Then we're going to click that into place and screw it in with the factory screws here on the bottom. Now make sure you put the interior back the way you found it. I ended up putting the stickers right over the top of where they came from, putting the plastic back in place. Make sure you get that rubber lip over the top, button everything down, and check this out. That thing is nice. So right here on this corner, it didn't seal completely. I'm not too worried about it, but if you want that to seal, add a little bit more RTV. It was just kind of sloped away, but it does block the hole, like I said, unlike any other hinge system that I've seen, which just leaves that hole exposed. So I'm happy with that. So the only downside that I see is that there's no adjustability of the tire up or down. I don't need the tire to be that tall. I've got about 4 inches of room here, and I will with the bumper as well, the aftermarket bumper. So I could bring the tire down a little bit, have more visibility out the back, but there's no adjustability in that bracket, something that they could work on in the future. But other than that, I'm super happy with this. It's a beautiful design. The price point is good too. It's the cheapest hinge system that I've seen for the JL so far, but it's still solid, well built. It keeps the camera, it keeps the brake light, the third brake light, and overall I'm happy with it. I bet you I could even fab something to hold more options back here. Maybe a high lift jack. The one thing I did notice that was different is you have to open the tailgate just a little farther to clear the glass, but that's because the tire is up higher and bigger, of course. So the hinge system, it's a little bit harder to swing out, but that's probably good. That way when you open it, if you're on a hill or something, it's not just gonna fly off and hit the end of the stop. The angles also fit really well with the other armor I've got on there, including the bumpers and the fender flares and the steps. So I'm excited about that too. Nice. Okay, well this video is running a little long, so we'll have to cut it short right there. We'll install this Crawltech bumper in the next video. If you have any questions though on those Rugged Ridge components that we installed today, leave those in the comments box below. Again, you can install those separately or together as your budget allows. Make sure to hit the thumbs up as always and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.